G'day, this is a video for BTC USD, but today I'm using Brave New Coin, which has a slight 1 day lag. So please take this as a long-term analysis, and I will add in the description screen caps of the daily chart, which has today's information displayed for the chart. So we're looking at the monthly here in between a nice curve which takes into account everything in the past and the current lows, albeit it hasn't quite tapped the lows I was looking for. However, that may come into effect at some point within the part of the cycle, just showing that there's a price here around 10 to 11 to 12k, albeit price did sit nicely on the 2017, 2018 tweezer points here. So that's perfect setup for that if you're looking for a horizontal ray across here. So across this point, you can see that prices nicely hit within these two highs and wicks. So what I can see is that price on the monthly has now rejected and heading up towards the next part of the curve. So if we add in the monthly trend line here and capture, you can see that price has broken through perfectly. And if we just give a little zoom in here too, price has broken through, rejected the downtrend, fallen off further into 2022, kind of bounced back a little bit, accumulated, and finally hit the lows in November. Now price has hit the trend line, broken retest, falsified bullish monthly candle here, rejected back down to the lows of 19 and pushed back up. And now we're at 28/29. And as of today, 27.5. So yeah, it's been a perfect move in that respect for the long-term investors. Albeit price can still take us back down to 16 and the lows at 15 in order to complete the curve pattern for a double retest. Then of course we'll have to amend the curve slightly to recapture the data. However, price is looking good in terms of the next moves. So now we have a monthly formation here around this candle, which we can draw. So we now have a massive confirm, and now price can take us back up towards this level in the long term, which is great. However, there's a lot of hurdles here, and if we draw a map marking for a pathway, we can figure out where the stops are. So around 40k, there's a big area here of traffic looking left on structure, which is very important. And also the lows here are very important at 30k. So each hurdle has its psychological level being 10k intervals on 000 levels. The market always looks to that first. However, the main hurdle here is between 34 to 47k. It's a big zone, of course, but it's a big hurdle before PCP takes place and hits the next value top between 50 and 69k. So that is that. Remove that really quick. We'll go down to the weekly, and we'll now review. Firstly, without the regression bands on, just to see a quick picture. So again, you can see perfectly here that the monthly line is tested, and also if we omit the monthly line, you can see it perfectly transacts with a weekly chart too. So that's perfect. Again, break and bounce, retest, and shot up. Now we're at a perfect value for a fresh supply on the sell side, albeit the price is still bullish in terms of momentum at the moment, but it is a fresh supply, fresh tap. So price will look to retrace to a pivot point firstly. Now that we have a new marking of the zone, the new marking is between here and here. And this is the weekly zone of interest where price can take us back down before heading back up and accumulating further. So keep that in mind. Now if we add the bands on, And by the way, sorry, this becomes a PCP once price is rejected twice and formed a new demand zone within. So use confirmations for that on a weekly time frame. But expect after many taps, the price becomes weaker, of course, in the supply and becomes a hurdle point. So keep that in mind. Now, if we add the confidence bands for regression, price is at a fair value. The white represents a fair value of Bitcoin price at present. As I said before, this is a day behind in terms of candlesticks. So price is still showing at minus 3%. However, it's not the case today. Although price can move whenever you watch this video. So the fair value here on the upper lower band has been present. Back in November, we hit the middle of the band on the lower regression point of the curve. We still have never hit this lower point until March 2020 in the bands. So that was before the previous halving. So if price can do this in the future, subject to how market cycles repeat, we can at some point hit this lower band. However, do not rule that out. But for those who are accumulating, great opportunity was to buy within here. When blows in the market, that's perfect. And now price will be looking to most likely sell at this point, as I said previously, and eventually head up towards these upper bands once fair value has been drifting along for a fair while. So if we jump down to the daily and remove this, we have a new demand zone within. And again, a great piece of structure here where price is rejected exactly on the weekly and monthly. There's a nice pattern forming here on different time frames, which is perfect. And then we'll have a new fresh demand zone here, and we have a PCP here, which can also be represented as a nice daily PCP. At present, price can break through this, of course, and use it as a nice selling range for further sales and confirmations, of course, but also equally it is an imbalance for both demands as well. But look to the higher time frames on the weekly, monthly, that will confirm as always. So yeah, that's a quick update for this one, and again, I'll chuck the screenshots in for further reviewing, and yeah, have a good one. Hooroo.